Two teams with solid 20-man lineups. Two teams with a pair of series stars, a defenseman and a goaltender. For Montreal, Chris Chelios, quick from defense to offense and from offense to the scoreboard. And Patrick Waugh, quiet, but a man with 2 shutouts and 11 wins with 2 goals or less. Calgary's Al McGinnis, leading point getter in all the playoffs, the newest team leader. And Mike Vernon, a hometown boy with fire and quickness. 2 nights ago, with the Flames ahead 2-1 and the series balance teetering, Vernon's brilliant stop of Mats Naslund places him with our faces of the finals, joining Theron Fleury, Chris Chelios, and Mats Naslund. And from the Saddle Dome, good evening, everyone. Along with Herb Brooks, I'm Mike Emrick. JIGGS McDonald and Bill Clement will join us in just a moment. And we would anticipate that there'll be a reaction when the officials step out on the ice. Kerry Fraser, the referee in Game 3, who handed out an overtime power play to Montreal, and eventually the winning goal scored just after the penalty to to Mark Hunter had ended, is the referee in this contest tonight. We have had a 70-degree change in temperature over the last 2 days. I'm sorry it has affected my voice, but it hasn't affected either of our enthusiasm or anticipation for this game coming up. He's looked into the crystal ball, and here's what he has to say, Herb.
Well, Mike, I guess I'm fighting the weather a little bit, and we get coming down a little cold, but yes, we are enthused because it's going to be a great game. And the one thing that we've seen so far in 4 games is that Calgary has shown us a few more fronts. They've shown us that they don't make a lot of mistakes, and they've shown us that they can force the other team into mistakes by some creative offense. They've had more chances. They've had more shots. They had the better quality of shots. I've been very impressed with Calgary's play over the last couple games.
Well, Doug Gilmour and Joe Mullen broke out of their scoring difficulties after they came up empty in the first 2 games here. Do you anticipate that there'll be some players who will snap out of it here now?
Well, I really think so, and I think tonight's game, Mike, is going to be influenced. Some guys they're good hockey players. They have produced in the regular season, but for whatever reason, they've had a tough series. On Montreal's side, I'm talking about Mats Naslund. I'm talking about Carbonneau. I'm talking about Corson. Now, collectively, those 3 guys have played a total of 12-man games. They've only scored 1 goal. They'll do something tonight. And on Calgary's side, let's look for Joe Nundyk, who got 51 this year, okay? Hakanlub, the great Swede. And then we can look at Gary Roberts, who's really coming into his own. Those 3 players collectively scored 100 goals this year, but they've only collectively scored 1 goal this series. I look for them to do something tonight.
A little bit of psychology going on here. We have had the officials take the ice, but the teams haven't. This is a harken back to several other playoff series that have occurred during the 80s. I remember in 1984, Philadelphia and Washington before Game 1 of their series. Neither team came out. Now you see the Calgary Flames are starting to move out, and so are the Calgary Flames. What about momentum, Herb?
Well, you've got to say with Calgary, you always want to go to the momentum of the team that won last. Calgary played a very good game in Montreal, and they come home and listen to this. So you got to give them the nod.
And in terms of one other factor, Montreal's stupendous play on the road. Do you think that will continue?
Well, I really do. For some reason, ever since Philadelphia went into Montreal and beat Patrick Waugh and says, hey, you're not invincible here, they've made Montreal a better road team. I see Montreal playing a good game tonight.
A rousing standing ovation. We can't wait for the start of this one. JIGGS and Bill will be right back and the face-off in a moment.
The 1989 Stanley Cup Playoffs on Sports Channel. Brought to you by Mercury, celebrating its 50th year. By Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive. By MasterCard. Master the moment with MasterCard, the official card of the NHL. By Kodacolor Gold Fill. Show your true colors. By First Brand Corporation, makers of STP's Son of a Gun Protectant. Son of a Gun, what a difference. And by Casio, watches that do more than keep time. They keep you ahead of your time.
Mercury introduces Cougar XR7. Supercharger. Speed-sensitive steering. Anti-lock brakes. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
Like a Mercury.
Sports Channel is more than the exclusive national carrier of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the Sports Channel Pro Boxing Tour, the World Basketball League, the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour, exciting amateur baseball featuring Team USA, thoroughbred horse racing, and more. Sports Channel, prime time sports, 7 nights a week. The 1989 Stanley Cup Playoffs, brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Budweiser and Bud Light are joining USA Today so you can vote for the All-Stars. Pick up an official All-Star fan ballot free wherever you buy Bud and Bud Light. Then enter the All-Star Pick-a-Pair Trivia Sweepstakes. Answers appear every day in USA Today, your #1 source for sports coverage. So look for this display and vote.
For the thrill of making the team, for the All-Stars, for the dream.
We're going to shot in the right center field, may not be caught. It is.
JIGGS McDonald with Bill Clement upstairs in the broadcast booth here at the Olympic Saddle Dome as we get ready for Game 5. The balance of power in tonight's game, what do we look for, Bill?
The balance has definitely shifted to Calgary's side. Montreal surprised the heck out of me in both games in Montreal. I think they did to you as well. They came out flat in both first periods. They have to rectify that problem here tonight, or they're going to see the Stanley Cup slowly slipping away.
Neither team has really given us a consistent 60 minutes of hockey. If either team should do that tonight, they'll have the big hammer as they go back to Montreal for game number 6 on Thursday. Tonight's game is going to be refereed by Kerry Fraser. There's another story that these Calgary fans have been waiting for. He was the man who handled the overtime game Friday night, joined again by Kevin Collins and Ray Scapanello working the lines, and the off-ice officials are from Edmonton. Joel Otto is at center ice for Calgary. He has Mark Hunter on the right side, Jim Peplinski on the left. Peplinski, remember, sat out game 4. Mattress on one side of the Calgary defense. And over on the other side, it's Jamie McCowan. We watch Laboda handling the puck in the center ice area for Montreal. He's teamed up with Green. Up front, they have Courtnall working with McPhee and Strudlin. Mattress playing the puck off the boards. McPhee drops it back, and it's stolen by Otto. Walks right in on Waugh, and he scores! Into Game 5, Calgary leads thanks to this.
And it is a mistake by the Montreal Canadiens in the neutral zone. The puck jumped over Rick Green's stick. And Joel Otto had his first scuff attempt go right out Patrick Waugh's pad. Outstanding first save by Rob, but watch it come back up and hit Otto right there on the arm. And he made a motion to direct it into the net after it had already gone off him. So the team that thrives on the other team's mistakes, the Montreal Canadiens, are victims here early. They commit the first one. Big lead for Calgary early, less than a half a minute in this game.
Wow, is it ever a big lead? Big mistake on the part of the Canadiens, and that's what the series is all about. And Montreal covers up now at center ice with Carbonneau. Backhanding the puck into the Calgary zone. Vernon leaves it for the defenseman, Merzen. That's a Gary Roberts. Roberts, who celebrated his 23rd birthday yesterday, managed to get it to Fleury. They're over the line, 2-on-1. Fleury breaks in, can't get it by Waugh. Out of the corner now, Roberts gets knocked down. Fleury goes to the front of the net. Here's Roberts maintaining control of it. What a job being done by Ryan Walter of the Canadiens. And finally, Fleury gets left out. But he comes away from the check.
Back to McGinnis for a shot. That's wide. Rebounded out in front and chasing it here to the right side. It's Radina. Radina of Calgary is checked on the play, and Walter pushes it out to Chelios. There's Chelios to center ice. Moving on into the Calgary zone, going to the corner, trying to regain control of the puck. Finally, it's knocked away and cleared out as far as the line, but no further. Now Lemieux goes in after it for Montreal. Here's Joey Mullen of the Flames, moving it up the right wing boards. And it's up all the way down into the Montreal zone. Canadians start to take the body.
They sure do. And the Canadians have to step it up. You saw Chris Chelios move all the way into Calgary zone. That's something he didn't do at home.
1-0, Calgary leading on an early goal by Joel Otto. Corson puts the puck in the Calgary zone. Vernon has to play it to the left side to Nieuwendyk. The board, chasing it as McCrimmon. He backhands it out into the center ice area. All the way down into the Montreal zone. Desjardins gives chase, and that'll be an icing call against Calgary. But they came to get the lead in Game 5, and that they did, only 28 seconds into it.
John, where's the cooler?
In the truck.
Don't forget the scuba gear.
It's in the truck.
What about the beach bag, the binoculars?
Everything's in the truck.
Great.
The 1989 Toyota Extra Cab. Everything you expect of a Toyota and something you don't expect of a truck. Real backseat space.
Where's Neil?
In the truck.
Toyota. I love it.
All right, Pat Burns finds himself down a goal here early. 17:48 to go in the first period. Joel Otto's breakaway goal. There's Jim Peplinski. He played a pretty big part in that. Remember, he didn't even play Game 4. Otto with a nice move to his forehand. Took a super save by Patrick Waugh, and Joel Otto just stood his ground and ended up getting his own rebound.
Otto's 6th goal in the playoffs. Peplinski got the only assist. So there's 1-0 Calgary. And here are the Flames moving out to center ice. Hokenloop, cross ice pass, and a good one to Nieuwendyk. And to pull up before he could shoot it, then played it around the boards. Brian McClellan trying to step away from the check of Robinson. Robinson kicked it right out to Lube, and his shot is held at the side of the net by Patrick Waugh. We've got a penalty call. Terry Fraser spotted an elbow thrown at the side of the Montreal goal, and Shane Corson is going to the penalty box. Calgary leading, and they go to the power play.
For taking charge, for taking pride, for showing what you got inside, for taking time, for staying true, for stepping in, for coming through. This buzz for you.
Beechwood Age, for the taste so crisp and clean, so refreshing, it's the king of beers.
This buzz for you.
Special teams have become such a big part of this final series, and there is Shane Corson. He draws the first penalty of the game. It's for elbowing. Calgary's power play started slowly in this series. We'll see Corson right there, number 27 in front. Got his elbow up on Joe Nieuwendyk. Calgary started slowly, didn't they? They have come on now, and they are getting stronger and stronger. 5 for 25 in the series against Montreal. Remember how hot Montreal's penalty killing used to be?
Used to be. What a term. Take back to Game 4. Calgary got 2 of their 4 goals with a man advantage, beating Montreal and sending the series back here tied at 2 games each. So with Corson off, Calgary starts out. Otto down the right side. And over the line as pass to Gilmore was tipped, and Ryan Walter failed to clear it out on the first attempt. Backhanded it out, but he got it right back. This is McGinnis. Oh, the story on McGinnis with his consecutive game streak. 15 consecutive games in which he scored at least a point. Now the puck played around the boards by the Canadiens, and offside as it was shot back in. Otto getting up slowly. He got hit pretty solidly inside the Montreal blue line. The trainer did not come out on the ice, and he apparently is okay. Otto going back to the Calgary bench. Terry Crisp making a change here on his power play alignment. He'll send up McClellan with Nieuwendyk and Lube now.
Terry Crisp has a tough job every night. Who to dress and who to sit out. Tonight, Jim Peplinski is in there. His thoughts on playing guys and sitting out people. It's a tough darn job, and Terry Crisp knows all about it. He was a guy that played on a Stanley Cup winner in 1975, and he had to sit out some games. He didn't play the final one, so he knows how much it hurt.
Tonight, the only change in the lineup, Jim Peplinski is back in. Tim Hunter is out. Montreal goes to the same lineup as in Game 4.
And here's McGinnis turning on the right wing for Calgary. Up to Lube. Knocked away, and it goes over the boards and on into the Montreal players' bench. 1 minute and 3 seconds left in Corson's elbowing penalty. We talk about this Calgary power play. They're 5 of 25 now in games against Montreal. Overall in the playoffs, 21.3% efficiency with their man advantage, and so much of it is built around Al McGinnis.
It sure is, and in a sense, he's not left alone because Theoren Fleury is back there with him, but he doesn't have his usual partner in Gary Suter. In spite of that, Al McGinnis just set a record for scoring points in 15 consecutive games in the playoffs. He broke Bobby Orr's defense record of 14. He's only 3 games behind Brian Trottier, and he would have to score a point in this series, would have to go 7 games for him to tie him.
Now Hunter, Mark Hunter, moving the puck back to the Montreal goal. Mullen in forechecking. Gilmore moves it after the puck. Out of the way from McPhee to Ramage. Back into Gilmore, or Mullen at least, and his shot deflected wide, came right out in front and centered across the goal mouth. McGinnis pokes it to the corner for Gilmore. Rides it around the inboards. There's Chelios. Can't get a stick on it. McPhee does, and the Flames pick it up again at center. McGinnis and Ramage moved it back and forth. Once more to McGinnis. Cross ice it goes. Gilmore over the line, trying to get it to Mullen. It's knocked away from him, and Brian Sprudlin comes to center ice. Sprudlin unable to penetrate at the Calgary line, and quickly they get it to Fleury. Fleury trying to go in around Chelios. Fleury maintaining good balance. His shot is blocked by Juan. There's no further play. And again, the Montreal net is off. What a burst. What a good shift by Theo Fleury.
The Calgary Flames, without a doubt, have the same jump that they have had in just about every game. Theo Fleury has drawn so many penalties. 3 of them in Game 4. And you know, when you look at Theo Fleury, a lot of the Canadians are complaining that he's diving out there. To me, the key of being a good diver is to be absolutely anonymous. Everybody knows about Claude Lemieux. Diver because he's so difficult to spot. Look at that burst right around Chelios. And in on Patrick Waugh. Canadians have to find some kind of spark, though, Jiggs. They just haven't had it in the first period. They need leadership that comes in the form of fires lit under some people.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the guns that they've looked for haven't even been smoking. They're non-existent. Only 3 seconds left in this Calgary power play. Roberts on the left, Fleury in the middle, and Radina on the right side. Lining up for against Walter on the draw. The puck comes back, and Merzen's shot went high, was blocked. Fleury reaching in after it, got it to the line, and Corson has cleared it out for Montreal. Merzen playing it right back in again. Here's Svoboda on the left side. They gave it to Rick Green, now to Naslund. Naslund over center ice, slips one check, steps across the line, and Radina slowed him up. Gave Merzen an opportunity to pick up the puck. The pass to Radina, and he carries it over the line. Dropped it to Fleury. Theo Fleury gets checked. Bobby Smith for Montreal, playing it out into the center ice zone. Moving up for it was Keane. Couldn't control it, however. And this is Merzen feeding it to Roberts, and he didn't get it outside the line. Flames drop back. McCrimmon moves it out on the right side. Svoboda waiting for a teammate to get back, then elects to dump it in. Montreal is slow to regain the blue line, and they're going to be called for having iced the puck here. We pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup Championship.
All-Star Dodge's Your Choice sale means that with just $500 down cash or trade, you can drive an '89 Dodge Omni for just $113 a month. An '89 Caravan is just $222 a month. An '89 Shadow is only $148 a month. An '89 Dakota pickup is only $166 a month. All-Star Dodge, where just about everybody's credit is good. All-Star Dodge, Baltimore's #1 Dodge dealer, with locations in Baltimore, Hagerstown, Prince Frederick, and Denton.
They claim that snow in May is not all that unusual in Alberta. And here in Calgary, this is what we saw this morning at 10 o'clock. There's the Saddle Dome. You were looking first at the racetrack, almost a whiteout. And it stayed on the ground till just after noon. Things started to warm up a little bit. These Flames are trying to make it red hot in here tonight. They've got Montreal reeling, scoring at the 28-second mark. Joel Otto's 6th goal of 1989 Stanley Cup playoffs. And from back of the net, Gilmore trying to stuff one in. Arbidal moves it up the left wing boards. They hit McCrimmon, bounce to Joel Patterson. Can't get it onto the stick of Mullen. Now Patterson continued to battle for it, but it came out to McCrimmon, over to Merzen. Puts it in around the boards. Watt gets it back in the net for Svoboda. Ryan Walter. Up it goes to Carbonneau. He has Lemieux moving with him. Lemieux can't get a stick on the pass, and it bounces right to Vernon. Drops it off for Brad McCrimmon. Now to Patterson. Colin Patterson. Good pass to Gilmore. He and Mullen move up, but 3 Canadians are back, and they can't move things in on the goalkeeper. And out at center ice, we've got a high sticking penalty. Ryan Walter of the Montreal Canadiens sticking it here. We pause for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup Championship.
What will 13,440 buy? About 3/4 of a Honda Prelude. Without the safety of power door locks or comfortable head and leg room. About 4/5 of a Ford T-Bird. Without the control of front-wheel drive or X-split hydraulic brakes. Or one Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme with all these features plus a whole lot more. Oldsmobile value, safety, performance, and comfort for a fraction of the cost of the competition.
This is the new generation of
Well, the unusual pattern of Montreal taking more penalties than their opposition continues. Ryan Walter is off for high sticking. He came back through the neutral zone and got his stick up. In this series, Montreal has given up more than 6 power play opportunities against a game. In all the other series, it averaged 3.7 chances against for the opposition against Montreal. For some reason, their discipline is broken down against Calgary, and they're giving just about twice as many power play opportunities as they're used to. And it takes away from that grinding. I mean, it's not flow. It's just a grinding tempo that they like to set.
Part of that, of course, is Fleury, but he wasn't on the ice on that exchange, and Walter is off for a high sticking. Fleury gets knocked down from behind here. Rudlin dealt it in. Forced McGinnis back in his own goal. Now McGinnis with a pass to Lube. Nieuwendyk cutting to the right side. Mark Hunter is up ahead of the play. Lube across the line with a pass. And it's played around behind the net by Nieuwendyk. This is Ludwig. Turned it over to Lube, and he couldn't go anywhere with it. Mark Hunter races in after it. Hunter from back of the net feeds the blue line. This is Fleury. Out of McGinnis. McGinnis holds it. Gets it in along the boards to Fleury. Fleury being watched closely by Strudlin. Pulls away from him, and nobody open to give it to. Then his pass to Nieuwendyk didn't work. McGinnis at the line. Feeds it to Nieuwendyk. Knocks it into the corner. Ludwig is there. Turns it over to Nieuwendyk. Back to the point for McGinnis. Cross ice to Fleury. Into Lube. Right back to Fleury, and it hopped over his stick with 56 seconds left in this Calgary power play. They had 2 shots on goal in their first chance, none thus far, with Walter on. Mullen going into forecheck now. Not cleared back to McGinnis. Squeezed it up at the blue line, then fed it to the open wing. Mullen dropped it to Fleury, back to Mullen. Mullen being watched by Carbonneau and Chelios as he put it back in the Montreal goal. There's Nieuwendyk with a pass to Lube. Lube plays it away from Chelios to Mullen. Back to Fleury. Fleury lets one go, and it's tipped wide of the net. Nieuwendyk picks it up. Plays it back in the goal, intended for Mullen, but Chelios stepped in front of the pass. Aids it to the left side, and McPhee rattles one that goes over the glass and up into the seats. 18 seconds left in the Calgary man advantage.
Well, Montreal has definitely made up their minds. They're not going to sit back on their heels when they're a man short. Chris Chelios on his kill was about 15 feet from the blue line. He was forcing so much. So Montreal is not going to let Calgary have the time to set up. The Flames are going to have to read that and really move the puck quickly. Watch it here along the boards. The play goes back, and it ends. That's Chelios at the top center of your screen. You see where he is? All the way up along the boards. Not afraid of the dump to go by him. But that's how aggressive Montreal is playing. You know, I talked about leadership. Montreal has all kinds of leadership that stabilizes. They have Larry Robinson. They've got Ryan Walter, Bob Gainey. These guys stabilize. A guy like Chelios, a guy like Corson, maybe some of the younger guys, are the guys that have to be the fire lighters. That's another form of leadership, and that's what Montreal didn't have in the first 2 periods at home.
They're trying to get something going here. They still do not have a shot on goal. And as the Calgary power play winds down, they have not had a shot. Now they have had 1 shot with this power play. You talk about leadership and guys that they look to. Guy Carbonneau.
Well, they got to start looking to him. He doesn't have a point. You see those totals? That's great, but he doesn't have a point in this series. He had 26 goals. We'll say, well, great. He's playing against Mullen and Gilmore. Well, you know what? Mullen and Gilmore has 6 goals in the last 2 games.
Now from this face-off, Ramage shot one wide of the net. The puck comes back to the blue line. That's McCrimmon holding it. Got it to Joey Mullen. Mullen looked toward Ramage, then feeds the pass across. Ramage with a shot. Boy, the save. The rebound is loose. Banged in by Mullen. Joey Mullen, who leads all scorers in the playoffs. And again, it's a rebound, Bill.
And you see what happens when that shot simply gets through. Patrick Wall left a rebound in Joel Otto's feet. That was Eric Desjardins, the kid, number 28, that tried to take Otto out, and Mullen supported. Watch Joe Mullen. He passes, then he'll move right to the net. Big Otto was there for the screen. Desjardins does a good job of moving Otto out of the way, but when you converge like that, which Calgary's been doing pretty successfully in the last 2 games, shot, rebound, converge, fight your way for it, you get them, and you get the lead.
Mullen from Gilmore and Ramage. The scoring of the Calgary goal. It's 2-0, and they're over the line again. Gilmore couldn't get it to Patterson in time, however. For the Canadiens, Bobby Smith plays it rink wide. Naslund dumping it in around the boards, and there's Vernon. Trying to get it to McCown. It was knocked away, came right out in front, and Vernon makes a good save off Naslund. This is Mullen for the Flames. In the center, bumped from behind by Smith as he put the puck on target. Picked up by Peter Sloboda. Pass to Bobby Smith. A delayed penalty call coming against Calgary. Flames trying to get control of the puck in the center ice area. Do not, so that'll force a face-off in their own end of the ice here. And there'll be a man short. Montreal has had 1 shot on goal, but Calgary is up 2-0.
8 years after their first battle, 2 fighters resume one of boxing's great rivalries. Now they step into the ring again for the long-awaited rematch. This time, the war is on. Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hitman Hearns go to battle on June 12th at Caesar's Palace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Budweiser presents the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Well, the latest hero has to sit it out for a couple of minutes. It was Joe Mullen. He was on the bench by the time the play stopped. But he has given the Flames a 2-0 lead on this goal. Watch Mullen at the top of your screen. He's the guy that's eventually going to score. He just cruises in. Doug Gilmour made a nice play. That didn't show up on our other replays. Doug Gilmour actually poked the puck through to him, and there's Gilmour being ridden away. Let's see how Gilmour gets by Robinson. Robinson had his back turned to Gilmour facing the play, and as soon as he turned his back completely, that's when Gilmour slipped by him and poked it to Mullen.
Now the Canadiens with a bad advantage held the puck in at the line, and Robinson's shot was blocked. Ryan Welner laying it off the left wing boards, trying to get it into the corner to Richer, and Welner gets knocked down. Robinson held it at the left point. Fires one through a screen, blocked. And comes right back to the stick of Chelios, who's pinched in. Now to Robinson. Robinson's drive, deflected off Otto. Bounces back to the net, and the Flames cleared, but not out. Robinson sets up Chelios. To Richer. Oh, what a stop by Vernon. He looks behind him, but he evades the save.
What a play, though, by Montreal. That is absolutely textbook. Robinson quickly to Chelios before the Killers could adjust. Right through for the one-timer to Richer. That tells you how good a save it was. It was a perfectly executed offensive play.
Now Chelios and Robinson cross the center ice stripe and on into the Calgary zone, giving it to Richer to Robinson. Knocked away by McGinnis. McGinnis can't control it again. That's Richer from back of the net. And Vernon got a chunk of that. Bobby Smith comes out of the corner, wheels one to the blue line, but between his defensemen, and the Canadiens have to chase it. In the forecheck now, Harry Roberts for Calgary, lifts it toward the corner for Gilmour, puts it right out in front, but there's Naslund. That's Naslund twisting and turning, starts out. 36 seconds in the Montreal power play. The pass to the right side. Courtnall gets over the blue line. Couldn't set it up, however. His pass was blocked by Merzen and then went way up in the air, landed at the skates of Sloboda. 3 Canadians tight on this near side. Now 4 of them working along the boards. Sloboda takes the pass. Send it to Chelios. Trying to go in around Gilmour in the centering attempt. Dana Merzen picked up by Gilmour. Checked from behind. Chelios did the job, and then it's cleared out by Patterson. Patrick Roy quickly out of the net with a pass to Peter Sloboda at center. To Chelios, back to Courtnall. Courtnall over the line, coming in off right wing is checked. Now slams one around the boards and down the ice. The penalty has expired, so this will be an icing call against Calgary, but a big kill on a Montreal power play. The first time in this 5th game of the Stanley Cup Final, and Montreal has shown the sparks that we had expected. But it also gave the Sea of Red an opportunity to applaud their team who killed it off.
Boy, Larry Robinson has gotten
stronger somehow as the playoffs have gone on. The oldest guy on the ice. And there was his play to Chelios. The threading pass right through the passing lane, through the seam that opened up. Saw Mike Vernon look behind him because there was a space between his legs. But that's one of Mike Vernon's keys. He somehow always ends up square to the shot. On rebounds, on those passes through the box, he always ends up square.
The key in this series, as in all of them, has been goaltending. All of a sudden, Calgary with a 2-0 lead early in the first period over the Montreal Canadiens. Now at 8.5 minutes remaining in this first period. Otto and Skrudland on the draw, and again they went helmet to helmet. The linesman dropped the puck unfairly, they ruled, and they'll line up again in the circle to the right of Mike Vernon. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final is Thursday night in Montreal. We'll have it for you exclusively on Sports Channel. But first things first, and that's this, Game 5, to see who goes back to the Forum in Montreal with a 3-2 lead in game. Skrudland lining up against Otto.
Boy, Otto's actually using his helmet right now to force Skrudland out of the circle. He uses his helmet to run interference.
Svoboda from the draw, ripped one wide of the net, and Peplinski can't get to the rebound. Canadian set up at center. There's Green with a pass to Skrudland. Now to Svoboda. Knocked it in around the boards. Vernon slowed it up. Out of the net to play. It was knocked away, and then he was able to get it to McCrimmon in time, but they don't clear the zone with it. Green moves it back of the net. McCrimmon tying up McPhee, and Joel Otto fails to clear it out a third time. McPhee to Lemieux, a delayed penalty call in effect there. It'll be against the Calgary Flames and called now as McCrimmon handles the puck. Referee Kerry Fraser indicating a holding penalty on Jim Peplinski.
This is precious cargo, telecommunications equipment on its way to Japan. On another day, it might be medical systems headed for Europe. We design and build that equipment. We're Siemens USA. 28,000 people, 47 manufacturing plants, over $3 billion in sales and service of electronic and electrical equipment. And each year, 15% of that is worldwide exports from America. We are Siemens USA.
Jim Peplinski is off for holding. He is back on the left side with Joel Otto. That's where he was before he sat out. See Skrudland go in to take Peplinski in the corner. There in the top left part of your screen. Here's the headbutting. Now, the home guy doesn't have to get down first. That's Otto. He doesn't have to go down first. But you know what he likes to do against Skrudland? He likes to get down first. He puts his head dead center right over the dot. That means Skrudland has to be forced to the side. So he doesn't like to get in first.
You get that big 6'4" body and that big upper torso.
Yeah.
And the long neck, too, I guess, of Otto, Bill.
Yeah, you bet. Skrudland would like to get in there first, but Otto doesn't let him do it.
Now Calgary a man short. Peplinski off for holding, and the Montreal power play moves up. Leos working him along the boards. Here's Ryan Walter with Corson trailing. Richer is the other forward. And the Flames successful in clearing the zone. Robinson will go back for it as Calgary makes a change now. Nieuwendyk coming out to replace Gilmore. And Roberts will replace Mullen. This is Richer carrying the puck. Shoots it in from center ice. Vernon cuts it off. Gave it to Rick Natras. He's bowled over on a hard hit, and Robinson fires it across to Chelios. That's one goal that's blocked in front. Natras went down to block that. This is Robinson to Chelios. Outside pass to Richer. Fires one. That's blocked again by Natras.
What a playoff Rick Natras has had, and he just seems to be getting better with every game.
And here is Chelios handling the puck now at center with a pass to Courtnall. Using that speed, moves in off right wing, put it in front. Vernon makes the save. What a stop. Now Chelios sets it up. Over it goes to Courtnall. And Smith had been robbed, parked right in front. Naslund set it up again. Chelios with a drive. The rebound banged in by Smith. Bobby Smith has scored for Montreal on the power play.
You wondered how they were going to do it. Mike Vernon is so hot tonight. He is like a wall in there. You had to figure that they'd need a broken play and that a slick play wouldn't do it on the power play. Chelios' shot, no, that won't do it. Now Mike Vernon lost his footing just long enough to let the puck squeeze through to Bobby Smith. And for the first time in a long time, Mike Vernon wasn't able to set up for the rebound shot. See, Vernon, he actually lost his balance over there and couldn't get back. Bobby Smith at the right place at the right time. You got to look at that as a huge goal for Montreal. I think they had to establish a presence here in the first period. I really haven't seen it yet. They're just treading water trying to stay close, and their power plays have helped them.
They went 9 minutes before they got their first shot on goal tonight. They're even now in that category, 7 shots apiece. They trail 2-1. Bobby Smith leads all Montreal goal scorers with 11 in the playoffs now, scoring at 13:24. This opening period, Canadians nearly turned the puck over. There's another penalty coming against Calgary. As McGinnis picks up the puck in his own end of the ice, referee Kerry Fraser spotting Peplinski. He took a man down back in the Montreal end of the ice. And the captain of the Flames is really upset with Kerry Fraser.
He should be, Jakes. Claude Lemieux had just passed the puck. Peplinski came and gave him to what looked like to me a real stiff, clean hit. We'll see if it was as clean as I saw it. There's Peplinski. You see how he tucked his elbow in, kept his shoulder down. That was a clean, good body check right there by Jim Peplinski. We know how Kerry Fraser calls boarding, though, don't we? Here's another look at the goal that put Montreal on the board. Bobby Smith just dug away at it. He actually had a stick. I hadn't seen that in the first one. His stick was right through the skates of Dana Merzen and just whacked at it before Merzen could get to him.
It's on the numbers on the power play and the numbers on the game tonight. 2-1, Calgary leading. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the opening period. Bobby Smith lining up against Otto on the draw. Otto won the face-off, and Ramage moves it up the boards, but not out. Svoboda into Smith. Haslund waiting in the corner. They feed it to Chelios. Fires one that's blocked by Gilmore, and it rolls out to center. That's Chelios going back. Mullen replaces Otto. Gilmore has moved in deep. Chelios takes a look. He'll actually carry it out before giving it to Smith at center ice. His cross-ice pass is different over the glass. 1 minute, 32 seconds left now. Peplinski's boarding penalty. Look again at Chris Chelios out of the University of Wisconsin, one of 10 players in the 1989 Stanley Cup Final. American college experience would be 11 if they ever get Gary Suter into the lineup for Calgary.
Well, there's a guy that's a little bit under the gun. The officials in general have been under the gun. Press release talking about Don Koharski not making the final 3 because of a curfew violation before Game 6 in the Philadelphia series in the Wales Conference Finals. John McCauley, the supervisor of officials, did confirm that that was the case, but there will be no other information on it pending a full investigation of that situation. But with that thing breaking, I think that broke in the papers today. That's when I saw it the first time. Kerry Fraser's controversial call in Game 3 at Montreal. The guys in stripes, the Zebras, are getting a lot of attention, and that's not what they want right now. They want to be anonymous out there.
That's right. You want to go home after the game and say, who was the referee tonight?
Yeah.
It's hard to do when you reach this stage of the season in the month of May, and you're down to the 5th game of the best-of-7 finals for the Stanley Cup. And Calgary, playing shorthanded, has just dumped the puck down the ice. Hulk and Lube comes out to help kill off the penalty now, along with Joe Newendike. This is Chelios feeding Bobby Smith at center ice. Over the Calgary line, is knocked away, but went right to Naslund. Back to Chelios, to Svoboda. Svoboda looked toward Portnall. He elected to hold on to the puck, and then was checked, and Ramage has shot it out of there. 5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Patrick Roy's pass went to Matt Staswood. Now to Lemieux. Oh, Lemieux had trouble handling it. Picks it up again at center ice. Tries to poke it in around McCowan. Picks it up, then couldn't center. His Natras was there. And the second effort from cross ice. And off Lube and out into center ice. Chelios for Montreal. Quickly to Lemieux. He's over the line. Back it goes to Strudlin. To the blue line to Chelios. Waiting for Robinson to join the play. He shoots. The save by Vernon, and he's grabbed it and held on. Montreal out shooting Calgary now by a margin of 2, but Mike Vernon, as Bill said earlier, has been red hot.
And we had mentioned that Pat Burns hadn't made any lineup changes. I'm kind of surprised he didn't. Claude Lemieux is back in the lineup tonight. Okay, he scored one in Game 4, but in games that Claude Lemieux has played in this series, Montreal is 0-2. In games that Brent Gilchrist has played in this series, Montreal is 2-0. Here's some of Lemieux right in front of Mike Vernon, and that's one of his roles, getting in there and pushing and shoving. He weighs just about 210 pounds, and he'll tie up even a guy like Natras pretty handily.
He is a force to contend with in front of the net. And you saw the little move on Natras after the play. And Brian Strudlin lining up, looking at the linesman, anticipating now the drop of the puck. They get it back to Robinson. In along the boards. This is McPhee to Robinson. A shot to a screen is blocked in front, and Patterson clears the zone. Robinson with 12 seconds in the power play. Gave it to McPhee. Strudlin went to the front of the net, picks up the puck, and shot it wide. Hear them yelling, Scrooge. Brian Strudlin centers, but right to Patterson. Patterson with Peplinski just out of the box has dumped it in. And back for Montreal, Chris Chelios. Right back again from Claude Lemieux. His pass tipped at center ice, and Radina turns it over to Lemieux. Back to Robinson. Robinson works it off the boards. This is Carbonneau. Played it off Keenstick right at the Calgary blue line. Good play by Radina to get away from the check. Then he gave it to Fleury, and Carbonneau stole it. That's up by Keane. He's just turned around in the play, and out comes Radina. Can't get over the center ice zone. And Gainey was knocked down, and Fleury picks up a loose puck. Leo Fleury to Yuri Radina. Dumped it in wide. Chasing it is Desjardins. Now Finette was lined up for the hit by Roberts, and the Canadiens clear the zone with it. That's Carbonneau chasing it. McGinnis right with them. Carbonneau one-handed it toward the net, and Vernon puts it in the corner for Roberts. Roberts up the boards to Fleury. Pass deflected as he had Merzen moving out of the zone, and now Merzen comes back. Takes it right in front of his own goal after Keane was given a solid hit. Merzen overled Roberts, and the Flames are going to be called for having iced the puck. We've got 3 minutes remaining in the opening period here in Calgary. Let's get you up to date on the other scores. Back to our studios, and here's Lee Zeidman.
Thanks, Jiggs. We're watching that showdown in Motown. Michael Jordan and the Bulls looking for a second straight win in Detroit. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. Michael Jordan to steal, and he's cleared for takeoff. He'll slam over Bill Laimbeer and glare at that Pistons center. And it's Detroit leading 71-63 in the third quarter. At 10:30 in Los Angeles, the Lakers, unbeaten in the postseason, take on Phoenix. Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. Complete wrap-up follows this game when Darryl Burnett joins me for Sports Nightly. We'll see you then. Let's go back now to Calgary.
Calgary jumped on Montreal for a quick 2-0 lead tonight before the Canadiens got a power play goal. All of a sudden, the momentum seemed to shift a little. Montreal has picked up their tempo. We got ourselves a good Stanley Cup playoff game, Bill.
That's always something you get your tempo back with, too, a little bit in the power play, because you get up successful on it, you score a goal. But we've had 5 power plays in this period. It's no wonder these teams are having trouble establishing their 5-on-5 skating play. They just haven't been able to. So many calls.
Now at center ice, Richer puts the puck back in the Calgary zone. It's brought out by McCrimmon. The pass to Mullen. Mullen trying to center one, goes to the corner for it, put it back to the blue line. Here's Gilmore. Can't get the shot away. McCrimmon held it in as Richer moved up on him. Wad of the net, plays it to the left side for Shane Corson. He comes to center ice. 3 men back for Calgary as Corson got across the line to Richer, then to Walter. A backhander is wide. Corson puts it to the side of the net. Vernon hugging the left post, able to maintain his position as Patterson now moves it up to Joe Mullen. Mullen can't get over the Montreal line this time. Svoboda dropping it back in a little deeper. This is Rick Green to Peter Svoboda. Svoboda's pass up the left wing boards is picked up by Courtnall and dumps it across the line, and McCowan quickly moves out to the left side to McClellan. On to Hoken-Lube. Lost it at the Montreal line. Then Ludwig has trouble with the cross-ice pass. Got an errant stick from Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk, in the meantime, chases the puck along the boards. Left it for Lube. Lube in some traffic. Knocked it loose, and there's Naslund for Montreal to Greg Ludwig. Ludwig backhanding the puck into the Calgary zone. Tony Smith stuck in by Vernon. Dropped it back to the point. Here's Chelios with a shot that's wide. Smith chases it to the corner for Montreal. Feeds it back. Courtnall centering attempt, held in neatly. Naslund with a backhand shot. Vernon the save. He dropped it off for his teammate, Jamie McCowan. Flames trying to come up 4-on-3, but they are unable to move it through the center ice zone. 117 seconds to go in the opening period. Thus, Courtnall's pass went to Mats Naslund, and the Canadiens have forced the Flames back. This is McGinnis. McGinnis with a pass to Patterson. Colin Patterson sent it across the line, and Gilmore races it after it along with Mullen here on the right wing. McPhee got a piece of Mullen, then Strudlin ties him up as Patterson shot went wide. Here's Bergen with a drive. off the stick of Patterson. Patterson holds it in, trying to set up Patterson around the check. Patterson to Gilmore for a shot that just missed. And knocked down in the goal mouth, Gilmore, and there'll be a penalty here against the Montreal Canadiens. So Calgary will get another power play opportunity late in this first period.
The sea of red extends to people in places outside the Saddle Dome, too. The impressive support of a city for its team in the upcoming intermission.
A look at the Calgary bench. Mike Vernon, knowing that there was a delay penalty call in effect, went to the bench, gets a little refreshment, and now with 42 seconds left in the period, we'll see Rick Green on the Montreal side of the penalty box.
Wow, this is the 6th penalty. I don't even think any of them have overlapped, so we've played the majority of this period. There's a penalty right in front of Patrick Roy. We will have played the majority of this first period with uneven numbers out there. Talk about the key of special teams. Calgary's power play sputtered early in the series, has come on. Montreal's penalty killing has seemed to let up a little bit. It was like an absolute wall, stone wall for the first 3 series against Hartford, Boston, and then against the Flyers. Battle scars for Brian Skrudland.
Look at Brian Skrudland. What a difference, huh? Between Skrudland and now this shot. You've seen this lady at every Flames home game during the playoffs. What a dude. That's all afternoon on that, dude.
I know you've been trying to find out where you can get a hairdo like that, Jake, to take back home, but I would advise you not to.
I was told she read palms, and I'm trying to find out where. Kidding. Joel Otto taking the face-off for Calgary along with Gilmore and Mullen. They get it back to McGinnis. Over to Ramage for the shot. Long got in front of that, and Mullen knocks Carbonneau down. They feed the blue line. Here's McGinnis. McGinnis to the drive. He scores!
With that precious commodity, space and time, the 2 precious ones. Good feed across to him. Nobody gets to him. After this goal was scored, Keith Carbonneau spent about 15 seconds talking to Chris Chelios. They had some kind of mix-up. That gave Al McInnes all kinds of time to tee it up. Did it hit anybody on the way in? It doesn't matter. What a great look at it. The puck was behind Patrick Roy before his head even turned. What a cannon. 3-1 Calgary.
And now they're across the line again. Patterson playing the puck around Carbonneau. Backboard is Ludwig. Patterson parks in front of the net. Ludwig elected to give it to Chelios. Long pass up to Gainey on left wing. Gainey trying to go in around Mattress. They bump in the corner. Gainey goes down. Picking up the loose puck is Joe Mullen. He just clears it out through center ice, and that'll do it for the opening period.
Well, for once, the first period unfolded the way I thought it was going to unfold, with the Calgary Flames carrying the play, carrying the momentum. And for once in this series, they're carrying the score in the first period at least. That's a pretty big bulge. We know how they can check. 3-1 is a big score for Calgary right now.
We pause now for a regional break. You're watching Sports Channel's coverage of the Stanley Cup